on chain and make sure that they're the ones benefiting. Everyone everywhere gets the same access, no matter where you're born, no matter where you live. This is the future of the internet. This is on chain.
Jim, thanks for coming, TK. My name is Derek. I lead expansion for Base in Southern Africa. It's a pleasure to meet up with you today, and I'm going to give you some time to introduce yourself. But right before I do, I will just share my screen. I want us to talk a little bit more about some of the things that we're doing over here, and one of the biggest elephant in the room is best batches. Now. For viewers in our audience, we do have two tracks. One is the startup track and the builder track. The startup track is majorly for existing teams with products that are live and are ready to take the next step. So let's say you're looking for exposure, you want to be able to meet more potential funders. This should be the track you should apply for. Builder track, you're just starting out, have an idea, but you're not sure if it's the right idea, you want to be able to experiment. This is definitely the track to apply for. Now we're running out of time. The startup track, if I'm not mistaken, ends in just a day. Ends in just a day from now, 1 day and 17 hours. And the builder track itself will end in. The builder track will end in about 8 days. So if you want to be able to participate in either of these, this would be a great time for you to go ahead and apply. Don't be shy, just go ahead and apply. I can count the number of people who reached out. Actually, the number of Africans who reached out to me in the previous best batches who are not 100% sure if they were going to make it, and they ended up getting some grants from Base as part of the participation. So I'd really encourage you to go ahead and apply for Base batches. Still, we have the startup track, the builder track. Just go on and apply, and let's see what comes of this at the end of the day. Before I move in, I'll just play a disclaimer for us, and then we'll dive into this.
Today's conversation is for information and educational purposes only. It does not constitute financial, technical, or legal advice. The views expressed are our own and do not represent Base, Coinbase, or any affiliated platforms.
All right, with that out of the way, TK, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you taking off the time. I appreciate you taking off the time to chat with us. As you can imagine, there's lots of people who are starting out who are just beginning their builder journey, and they probably oftentimes you don't even know where to start. You have no idea on, okay, am I building the right thing? What should I be? Where should I be building it? Where should the focus be? Now, you've come out successful with Noice, but even before we get to that, I want to understand what has your journey been like? Especially when did you join this Web3 space, and when did you decide to take this building seriously?
Right. So thanks for this warm introduction. I joined crypto earlier this year. My two of my closest friends were in crypto, podcasters, had been hanging out on Base, building on Base for a while. And then for the first 3 years of my life, after I graduated college, I was building a lot of startups in India, a couple of startups in India. They were consumer facing. I raised money, I failed. I started another company, which is like a services company, but I was always in Web2, right? My brief introduction to Farcaster was last year during DJ, and very briefly, I just heard about it, got to know about it, but then I disappeared. And but because of my friends driven schedule, who were building Cast Money since last year, September. It was a trading client on Farcaster. I joined them in January. I started helping them, started working on it in Jan. Jan to April, I started getting a lot of context about Base, a lot of context about Farcaster, so on and so forth. But Cast Money didn't work, right? That idea didn't work at all. And then we sat down and we understood like what is not working. We realized distribution is a problem. We realized not enough people. I mean, I think most of the problems for a startup either come down to distribution or revenue, right? Like either you're not able to make money or either you're not able to get users.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and like if you're a founder who's like struggling, identify the problem because that will solve half of it. So the first job is for you to know what is exactly not going my way, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
why do I not have distribution or why do I not have revenue? Before that, just realize that, okay, I don't have it. So what we focused on in Noice in some way was, okay, we want to somehow prioritize distribution of users over everything right now, right? We realized that, okay, like that's the main goal because that's what we sucked at during Cast Money. Like that's something we did not do a great job at during Cast Money is get a lot of users to actively use it. What are distribution hacks? Build on the base app, right? Build on the forecaster protocol.
Uh-huh.
You're likely to get like 50 odd thousand build mini apps. Like these are like two straightforward answers to like get distribution is just focus on these two things and build something that people want or
Uh-huh.
people like just it's very intuitive where you where you intuitively need to understand are people going to use this or not, right? Like
Uh-huh.
you just really need to take a step back and think about okay, like why would people use this? Like does it make sense? Like you don't need to get to like a very big answer as to why people should use it. The
Uh-huh.
answer why people use something is usually very stupid and simple, right? Like in our case, it was basically, hey, I have so many coins, or I'm the founder of this coin, and I just want to tip it to my community, or I just like somebody's content, so I just want to send them money. That's it.
Something.
Like
Yeah.
the use case has to be really simple, like
Well,
very
so
very simple.
I'm sorry to cut you short. To start off, like the first application that you were building, Cash App. Did you say it was called Cash App?
Cast money,
Cash Money.
CASTMO, yeah, cast money,
What,
CASTMO anywhere.
great. What were you solving for exactly with Cash Money? You say you spent quite a bit of time on it, but what exactly were you solving? What did you envision it would look like
So
at the end? Uh-huh.
if you've tried Farcaster off late, you'll see that it has like a great trading experience. It has like social graphs, who's buying which coin at what time, which Farcaster user is buying how much, which is the hottest token trending. That is exactly what we used to do, but outside the Farcaster app, right? So it was a
Ah,
web app where you would see that Derek just bought Noice for $13. And then you can see the chart of Noice and you will see where everybody's bought a coin, where everybody sold a coin, how much is somebody holding, how much is their PNL. Everything that Farcaster is natively doing today, we were doing as a separate web app. And obviously like Farcaster has distribution like in some way. So you at least have like these 50, 70, 100,000 people using it every day. We didn't even have that, right? So that was basically our issue.
when you're building, when you're deciding what to build, one thing that I've noticed from these two applications that you've mentioned is they are not really geo-fenced. So it's not like you're thinking to build a product just for India. No, this is a product that you're building that is global. How do you like what do you factor in while making these decisions? Like, do you find like do you find lots of your peers only focusing on India, or are you like the outlier who decided that okay, let me focus on global as opposed to just focusing on India per se?
No, I definitely think most of the people I know are going for on chain, right? Like it does not really like your geography rarely matters. It depends on the kind of product you're building, to be really, really honest. Like it really comes down to the kind of product you're building. But there are obviously a lot of products which are regional solutions. But at the same point in time, I think 90% of the people that I know or what I encourage people is like, hey, look, like the greatest part about on-chain is that you can literally connect or anybody can trade, transact, or use your app across anywhere in the world. So always optimize for it, unless and until you're building for like a specific geographies problem, then it's separate. But yeah, build for the world always. That's the power of on chain, right? Like everything is a wallet address. Like every person is a wallet address.
I'll say this is humbling for someone who's just joined this space. Like you've picked on it really really fast to know that the opportunity actually the opportunity actually lies in trying to build on chain as opposed to looking at ideas that are very geography fenced. Because ideally it gets limiting. We have lots of people who have like really great ideas, but when you think about like scalability, this is something that is really going to serve maybe just a few 10,000 users within a certain geography, as opposed to looking at people on the other side of the world, which at the end of the day becomes limiting. How big was the team at Cash Money?
5 people. I think
Uh,
five of us then. And then when Noise began, it was the four of us, and now I think there's eight of us.
I see. So starting out Noise now, this comes to. Did you start Noise in May in April, May when base batches began, or had you begun it earlier? Let's talk a
Nah,
little. Uh-huh.
no, we exactly started when base batches also started. Like I think base batches started something like 23rd, 24th April.
April, yeah.
And yeah, and I think we had started thinking in the direction of Noise, and I think, but yeah, nothing existed. So we built it up between 25th April to 20th May when we launched.
That's pretty interesting. So how did you come up with Noise in the first place? I mean, you've just failed with Cash Money. Like things have not gone as well as you expected them to, and now you recognize best batches as an opportunity. How did you zero in on, okay, this is actually what we really need to build at this particular point in time?
I mean, it's not really okay. So there are a lot of things. First, specifically, Shujan was really excited about like this idea of, hey, look, like creator economy, creator coins, the ability to differentiate a like, right? Like when you get 100 likes on a post, what is a way to say Derek's like is different than TK's? So we started thinking a lot about creator coins and whether a creator's coin can only be tipped, but it can never be bought. It only shows in your wallet who has liked your posts, right? Not in your feed, but like inside your wallet. If I have like 13 of Derek's coins, then it's probably the fact that Derek's liked my post. So there's like, this perpetual log of somebody liking it. We were just coming at that like very random different ideas. The greatest part also was the wallets were new to an extent that time. Like Farcaster wallets were new. Um, which allowed a lot of fun things to happen that weren't possible during DGen or Ham chain, like or Ham or Moxie. Right? A lot of things were possible, and we also decided like, hey, look, like we don't want to force fit a token. We just want people to have fun. So let them tip anything that they want, right? Like really,
Okay.
like whatever coin you believe in, you should have the ability to tip it. So I don't think it was a lot about, hey, is this the greatest perfect problem statement to work on?
Okay.
It was just like you know when you take a beating, you want wins. So you want to optimize for wins. And wins come in like shorter loops. And sometimes wins start with like very simple products, simple ideas. Like Noise in retrospect is a very, very, very simple product, right?
Hmm.
There isn't really anything dramatic. Like obviously today we crossed 10 million tips. So of course, like you've had to scale a lot of things well, but generally when you start it, like it's not rocket science. So just start with simple things. TLDR.
Interesting. And I believe you had a lot of fun going at this. I know a lot of people are thinking really, really hard problems, and then you guys decided that, okay, people will have fun actually using this. Creators are going to have fun. The fans of the creators are going to have fun using this. So let's actually go ahead and ship it. Did you make it to the network school by any chance in Singapore?
Yeah, I was actually like when we were coming up, when we were sunsetting, like when we were shutting down Cast Money and we were just thinking about Noise. That
Uh-huh.
month of April, I was actually at network school. Like I
Uh-huh.
spent the entire month at network school. And I've become a network school fellow now. So Balaji has invested like $100,000 in Noise as well.
Oh, nice.
And we also were at the Network State Conference recently.
Interesting. Well, how did that like? How did that help you guys like even move way much faster? The fact that was it just you or the entire team that was in at the network school?
Uh, Living through the month was just me, but the
Okay,
conference that we recently went to, there were four of us from the team
I see.
that went there.
Okay, so throughout that period when you guys were building, when you were just starting out, I believe it was just you. How did that actually help shape the direction that Noise was taking, such that it became like as powerful as it is today?
During when I was at network school,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I think we were just experimenting, man. Like I don't really think that we knew it would become what it has become today, right? Like um, we had no idea what it would become. So I think when things work out, then a lot of ideas and vision and narrative comes to your mind. But when you're working on some things in the background, it's just a lot about ship it and then let the world decide whether they like it or not. So it became powerful much after launch. Like before launching, it wasn't as powerful, right? Like a lot of people told us it wouldn't work. A lot of people were anti it. But yeah, it turns out it happened to work somehow.
What advice would you give like any Africans who are starting out, who are actually contemplating like participating in best batches and they're not 100% sure? Like what advice would you give anybody who's starting out at this particular point in time?
I don't think I have any advice. I would just say um, finish your projects, focus on distribution. That's it. Like, don't leave things midway. Like, if you're trying something, make sure you just ship it and always think about how you're going to get users before revenue, before everything, because that's the most important thing in most products today is like they might be like the most thought through products, but if only 20 or 200 people are using them, it's not worth it. So um, focus a lot on distribution than perfecting product, perfecting design, perfecting tech. Uh, just like launch, let the world decide if they like it. If they like it, improve it. Right? If they like it, then focus on improving it. If they don't, if you work like 3 months on trying to improve a product, but the world hasn't tested it yet or validated it yet, there's a great probability all your 3 months go to waste. Instead, what if you just spend 3 weeks or 2 weeks building something, quickly test it? Okay, the world liked it. Let me spend 2 more months on it, 1 more month on it. If the world didn't like it, let me move on to the next idea.
I
That's
see.
what I'd probably do if I was starting.
I say that actually makes sense. I was speaking to a founder, and then they've been having this idea for about 12 months, but they've not built the product. So they keep like trying to like cautiously like pivot the product like every other time, like in terms of ideas. So we were grilling the guy and saying, look, you're going to pivot forever if you don't release this thing and let the market decide whether it likes it or not. You're just wasting a lot of time along the way. You talk about distribution, like what would be like in simple terms, like what would be some of the things that someone should pay attention to when they just have an idea? Because look, you only just have the idea. Say for example, in a builder truck, similar to how you were starting out. How do you like start to gauge that, okay, this is going to have like the distribution I want, or this is actually not going to have the distribution I want?
I think it's just intuition that comes from experience. Like, I don't think I have all the answers, being real.
Mm.
Um, Again, like there's this pretty cool article by Lemon, this
Nice.
Farwell guy, who let me see. He writes he wrote like a pretty cool thing on how to go viral on Farcaster. Like I remember referencing a lot on it when I was building Nice. But generally you want to be on the feed, you want to have some loop where people keep discovering you. You
Mhm.
want to solve a problem in some way. It could be like a problem that, hey, I want better ways to spend time. It could be a better way, like it could be something fun as well. But if you actually want to build a business, you want to solve a problem, right? Like, the funny thing with Noise is that it solved a problem, yes. Can it be a business? No, right? Because the transaction amount was so small that even though we've moved $2 million today, there is no meaningful revenue that's possible. Like, even if I charge 1%, it's like $20,000, and it's not enough, right?
I
And
see.
for to run a company, So we had to pivot, right? Like, and we started thinking about, hey, look, like, how are you going to make $2 million, right? And so you first want to focus on distribution. You want to focus on getting on the feet. You want to solve a problem. You want to utilize what mini apps do. You want to utilize really like mini what mini apps can do, and you also want to focus on marketing it across channels, right? Like you want to focus on understanding who the core user is, spending time on Twitter. Building narratives is also very important. Like whenever you're doing something, try to have like a greater narrative to it. Like if it's just a game, it's very hard for people to really, really catch on to it. It's possible. It really happens every week that there are games that are viral and viral and viral, but they also die down like 3 weeks later, right? Like
That's
no game truly is very viral or like continuously has mind share. Like even Wordle has it had its phase, but it died down. Even chess has its phases, but it dies down. So every game goes through that. Every business also goes through that. But you need to think about narratives like why should I build this? Who are the 100 people who aggressively use this product? How am I going to talk to them every day? How do I build this with them? It's endless. It's honestly endless. But all of this advice is futile till you just try building. I think that's the main thing is you just need to keep trying. And if you do that, I think you likely will find some success, in my
I see.
opinion. Yeah.
So ideally, the take home is just start building, and then
Absolutely.
you'll definitely get to pivot over and over again. But the fact that you're actually experimenting with different things will be very helpful. It would be great for you to find that article for us. We'd love to share it with the community, even way much later on. With that said, I don't know if we have any questions from the audience. I will check now. We don't really have any questions from the audience at this particular time. But Tika, I do appreciate you taking off the time to chat with us. Are you taking part in best batches this time?
I'm not too sure if we'd be allowed to take
Okay.
part this time, but
Mm.
I'm right here to like help as many teams as we can. But I don't think we'd be allowed to take part. If you're allowed to take part, we'd love to take part.
Would be great.
But I'm
Would
not
be
too sure if yeah.
if yeah, no, it would be great. What are you guys pivoting to, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, I think we're spending a lot of time on this. Like, I mean, the greatest part about Noise, there was
Right.
obviously the product, but it was also what launching a token did for us. It helped us get a lot of users. It helped us uh, get decent amount of money so that we can sustain a team, runway, so on and so forth. So we're exploring this frontier where the next generation of all on-chain founders probably launch tokens, and and how it helps their company. Like, how can it help you get $1 billion? How can it help you get 100,000 users? Right? Like, can tokens help you answer these two things? If the answer is, and we're trying to figure that out. So we're working with a few teams. We're headed a lot towards like what YC does, but like really on chain. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think that's the direction that we're fairly excited about.
Yeah, we got a question from the audience. What do you think about launching a token for your product on day one rather than getting PMF fast?
I mean, we launched our token on day one of
Okay.
the product. So I only know it one way. Like I think I'll always have a bias because I only know one way, right? Like I only have one answer. If I had experienced multiple ways, I think I would have said things differently, but that's the only answer I know. Uh, but yeah, I think I'm a very, 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 very big proponent of meaningfully launching a token for your project and knowing how to use the token to market yourself, how to use the token to acquire users, how to use the token to retain users, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm a big proponent. It can obviously go south, yes, but there are a great number of ways where it also goes right.
I see. Just two final questions before we go. What are your thoughts on the influence of community? Like, how much did community help propel the noise growth?
Oh, tremendously, right? I think dramatically it helps when you have a great community. I think I'm forever grateful for like the support we get.
Mhm.
Um, just really talk to your founders, your holders, everybody, man. Like just like really talk to anybody who has something interesting to say. Uh, that's the only way to actually win is by listening to people. Look, the decision is always yours. Never take your community's opinion as your opinion, or force yourself to do things just because your community said so. The decision is always yours, but meaningfully listen to every person that has something to say about your company. But make a decision whether you think they have the right opinion or not. Like, even if I said something about, hey, this your mini app's great or it's not or whatever, take everything with a pinch of salt,
I
right?
see.
No matter what your community says, no matter what your holders say, like your token holders say, you are the best decision maker for your company today, right? But listen to everybody. Listen to everybody very intentionally. Uh, Try to understand the problems and then make an educated decision.
Perfect. Final question. A lot of people build in silo. People are not doing it with teams, and you can imagine it's probably because there's just not a lot of money to go a long way, etc. What advice would you give these people, and how has building with a team helped you guys grow even more faster than you would have done going at it alone?
I mean, look, teams are always the greatest blessing on earth, right? I think. I mean, what do I say? I mean, teams are definitely a great big part of everything that you'll do. Always rely on teams. I think um, build build with people who believe in the same things as you. Very important. Um, and even if you're building in, like, even if you're a solo person, build in public at the very least, right? Like, if you're a solo guy, at least build in public. At least have like these 100 super fans, because like if not even that, then what? Like, you get it?
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, TK. But I do appreciate you taking off the time. It's really been great chatting with you. And yes, look forward to seeing you at Best Patches if you make it. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.